The Department of Defense, under the direction of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, got the green light from the Supreme Court to make good on a promise that President Trump made on the campaign trail to end DEI and transgender military service. These transgender military servicemen have between 30 and 60 days to self-separate from military service. Otherwise, they will be forcibly removed. Now, I believe that this is good. Why? Because the military should not be a place for a social experiment. I don't care what you identify as. Gender dysphoria is a verifiable mental illness. And people with a mental illness should not be in the military. It is your job, primarily, if you're in the military, to be a basic rifleman. I come from a military family. My father was in the Marine Corps. I have a brother that's currently serving. And I have a long list of people throughout both sides of my family who have volunteered to serve in the military. And anybody will tell you that your first job is to be trained to kill, to go to war. Now, I want to ask you, how in the world can someone who doesn't know what gender they are be considered suitable for military service? So to me, this is just common sense. But the Supreme Court had to rule on it that President Trump could enforce an executive order that he signed back in January that would remove transgender servicemen from their service. And I believe it's ridiculous that in 2025 that we have to have an executive order signed to ban people with a verifiable mental illness from military service. The military is not a place for a social experiment. And I would say the same thing about fat people in the military. They'll kick you out for being fat. We should be focused on lethality. And I believe that this is what the Department of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is trying to do. I want you to listen to what he has to say about this.
No more pronouns, no more climate change obsession, no more emergency vaccine mandates, no more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit.
Fox News also reported that between January of 2016 and May of 2021, the Department of Defense spent approximately $15 million on providing transgender reassignment surgeries for approximately 1,892 individuals that are active duty service. What are we doing subsidizing a mental illness that keeps a serviceman from performing his or her duties? A serviceman in the United States military should be combat ready at all times. And it should also be noted that the Hill reported that approximately 21% of our current Army National Guard reservists are overweight. This needs to stop too. So I'm not just singling out transgender individuals. All the people who were not fit for military service need to get the hell out, because it serves to make our military weaker. And when our military is weaker, we are weaker as a nation. If we have to go to war right now, all this is doing is ensuring that we get our ass kicked by the enemy. I don't want that. I want a military who can kick ass and take names later. And I believe that this is a wonderful step in the right direction. But I do have a concern. This has been done through executive order. And mind you, when the president signs an executive order, what it does is to enforce already existing law through the executive branch. That's the executive's job. But remember, my friends, anything that is done by executive order can be undone by the next administration. So I hate to say it, but I think that legislation may be necessary to make sure that these changes are permanent. Because if you have a verifiable mental illness, I do not believe you should be in the military. And that's just common sense. It's not ugly. It's not discriminatory. Why do transgenders suddenly get a pass? This is not what America should be focusing on. We should be focusing on being strong, being tough, and being lethal. So I celebrate this win, and I look forward to more stuff like this that would make America's military lethal once again, just in case, God forbid, we have to use it. Because I'm not in favor of America going around beating everybody's ass all the time or getting involved in everybody's problems. But if we have to use it to defend ourselves and defend our national sovereignty, then I want the military to be lethal. And I believe that the average American would agree with me. If you do, please like this video so it helps out the algorithm. Please share it so that more people see it. And please subscribe to my channel for more content. And I'll see you in the next video.